everyone. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Star Wars Echoes of Eternity. Coming off me being excited about Star Wars Squadrons and having like a good Squadrons moment, so I'm feeling good about my life. Can't wait to fly around in a TIE fighter and shoot people and feel good about myself. Because TIE fighters, them's crappies. That's crappy. That's a crappy ship. So when you shoot people down a TIE fighter, you're technically a better pilot. I'm just putting it out there.
True.
And when that happens, I want everyone to know that. Very excited for that. But yeah, I'm more excited because this show is happening right now. Hi, everyone. How you all doing? Is everyone good? You guys like ready for an adventure? You ready? You guys, Are you excited? Are the four of you excited for today? Are you really pumped for today?
Yeah.
Not really.
Are you super excited? Because do you remember that you're trapped in a box in space and you really can't do anything?
Yeah, that's why I'm not excited.
I forgot. And we don't have anything to eat.
We have 4 days to the nearest planet with no food.
All right,
I'll be fine. Don't worry.
Roll to live.
I'm glad I got to lead Anna down that road of disappointment. At least I got to take you down on that drive to being disappointed.
Well, I was ready to go, man. I've been hosting streams all day. So if you're like, "Are you excited?" My automatic response is like, "Hell yeah! Yeah!" And then you reminded me what I'm trying to be excited about, and I'm not.
You're all screwed. Yep.
Thanks, Jesse.
So, before we begin this little adventure of ours, where you're all totally screwed, I am going to do two things. First off, I'm going to clear your dice pool so you can please roll for me your destiny, if you would be so kind.
Yes, light side week.
I mean,
hasn't been a light side week for about 3 weeks. Maybe more?
The last time you had a solid light side week was when you went up against the Inquisitor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Although.
It's up to me.
You got this. Believe in you.
Fuck yeah.
That is a light side week. All right. So, two questions. Well, actually, one major question for you, Pocket, before I roll real quick. What is your intention with this Devoronian guy? What is your thoughts on this dude? What do you like? Totally out of character. Totally out of character. Maybe to all four of you. What are your intentions? And your answer will affect the outcome of what I say next.
I think we decide not to tell Jesse our intentions. We make a pact right now. Keep him in the dark.
Pocket, almost, yeah. You were muted for a reason. I feel like fate and divinity were reached down and muted that because I think you had an answer, and Sam was like, "We say nothing. Say nothing to the cops." Is what I got out of that.
I was gonna offer to cook them.
I plead the fifth.
Is that an option or not?
Well, basically, I need to know whether to give you more obligation or not.
I'm just kidding. This is out of character, so just tell him the truth.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
There's no reason not to talk.
I mean, essentially what happened is you were given obligation and you chose to directly ignore that obligation with the help of ULAGO. So I need to decide whether this is all going to somehow wrap up and you guys like, of course I'm going to go back and steal that ship, or you guys have no intention of going back and stealing that ship. Like, I need to know what your motivation is.
Oh, I don't think we have intentions to go back and steal the ship.
I did.
I mean, we're definitely not releasing this guy.
I had every intention of going back for the ship.
Oh,
and
did you?
fulfilling your obligation, yeah.
Oh,
I don't think Oda even knows about it.
And so Jesse said we don't have a warp drive, and then I was like, ah! And that was like the end of my train of thought. But ideally, we want to go get our droid back and our ship back and fulfill your obligation.
That's true. If we're already going back, then I think that it would be smart to try and fulfill it, but I don't think that I'm taking this guy with me.
Of course,
he's told us so much information that I don't want that getting back that we know stuff.
Right, which is why I'm only going to increase your obligation by 10. And if you complete it, I'll decrease it by 10. So we'll find out. We'll find out. So you could end up with minus 20 by the end of this. But right now you're up 10 because you stole a man. You stole a man.
He deserved it.
From his crime syndicate, and he's like stuck with you. So I feel like they're pretty pissed at you right now. So, all right, let's roll and see what
they don't know it was her.
I'm pretty sure they do. I'm pretty sure after you'll see where we start today. All right, yes, interesting. Okay. Let's start this bad boy. Lost. Wait, hold on. In a galaxy far, far away. Lost in space. Stranded by the Alliance to save the Republic, and ULAGO'S supposed friend HOOLA VAMA, the 4 former allies find themselves stuck in a small shuttle, lost in deep space with a Devoronian Dread Rabbit enforcer. But there may be hope. 4 days away is a small, uncharted planet that might be able to support them until they can find a way to be rescued. But 4 days in a box in space can mess with one's mind. We're gonna not even deal with those 4 days. I want to know from each of your characters, in the 4 days that you've been stuck in space, slowly making your way towards this planet, what have you, in particular, as a character, been doing? Like, well, how have you passed the time for 4 days as you're making your way to this planet? We'll start with PR3.
Oh God. I passed the time by tidying up the ship.
It's a box
Aw.
in space. There's
Oh,
nothing
it's
to
a
tidy.
box in space. Oh, okay. I thought we were in.
So,
that's right, a little thing.
day 1, hour 3, you have tidied the ship.
Okay, great. Then I practice my vocab until everyone yells at me to stop. And
Day 1, hour 3, minute 4. What happens next?
I mean, I'm just
He's
going
not wrong.
standby mode. Honestly, there's nothing to do, right?
Yeah. So you begin to do this vocabulary, and everyone's like, "Shut up!" And then you just shut down, and you wake up 4 days later. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you just shut down, and you wake up like nothing happened. PR3 passes out, standing there, just powered down. He'll be fine for 4 days. Is nothing for a droid. He's fine.
I'll make sure everyone knows that I'll be fine, and then I
Yes.
sit down.
The last thing you say is "see you in 4 days" and shut down.
I'll be fine.
Ilago, what do you do for 4 days?
I think I
With
start
no
off,
food.
I think I start off like watching this guy, and my end goal is for us to, for there to be a semblance of trust that he's not going to do something stupid, and I'm not going to hurt him anymore, and maybe we end up even sharing a few stories.
Yeah. You spend most of your time that first day just staring this guy down, and he is staring you back. In fact, he's like trying to stare down all of you, right? He is just like his snarling sort of devil-like face is staring down all of you, like ready to fight, ready to do something. But over the course of 4 days, he realizes that as all of you become more and more hungry and more just worn down by this experience, you're in a box in space. The only difference is that there is a cockpit with 2 seats. That's it. And he's kind of just over it. It's almost like a weird Band of Brothers thing you have going on here. Like,
yeah,
you are
I think it starts
together.
like day 3, and ULAGO'S like, "You must have been in worse situations than this."
Oh my god, let me tell you. This one time on Antiva Prime, I was stuck in a coffin for 2 days. A coffin!
Well,
I thought that was bad, but this, everyone in here smells. Can you smell how bad everyone is?
You're not exactly fragrant yourself, my friend.
I know, but I've only ever had to smell myself before. This is terrible.
Now I have to smell you.
I know.
And then
Oh my
ULAGO would
God.
tell him some of ULAGO'S stories, and it would probably go back and forth.
Yeah, they all. I imagine the two of them tried to outdo each other and like who had it worse.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, like what the worst smell was, or like what's the most gross thing they've ever seen. Yeah, absolutely. Dio, over the course of 4 days, you are watching ULAGO befriend a guy who not, I don't know, 4 days ago wanted to murder you.
I don't think I would have any comments on that. It's like, expend the energy being upset about it or just like try to conserve energy. I feel like Dio would have been in maybe not this bad, but a similar situation like this before where she went like a couple days without food as well. Sort of as training, honestly. And then so she would just be trying not to expend a lot of energy and whatnot.
Sure. Yeah,
Yep.
do you just sort of sit in a corner? Like, how do you handle this time? Are you
I'd probably
like?
sit across from the guy we kept prisoner or took captive.
Yeah, he keeps while he's talking with the Lago and while he's like swapping stories, he keeps glancing over at you and giving you a big sharp toothed grin, almost kind of like, at least from what you can detect, kind of trying to be like, hey, we're stuck in this together, we might as well be friends. But you know these guys, the Dread Rabbits. They're friends with nobody. They're assholes. They're terrible people.
Yeah. I feel like I would just be like, no, I don't trust you. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Oda, Ilago's having story time. He's having days and days of story time, just trying to outdo this guy. And they're telling gross, nasty stories, like terrible war tales, but also like comical, like run-ins at the brothel, like crazy, weird things. Dio is sort of just on edge and waiting to see what this guy's gonna do while also trying to conserve energy. PR3 is shut down. What do you do? What have you been doing for 4 days?
Jesse Cox.
What now?
I'm gonna find that box.
Ooh.
That box.
Okay.
I'm gonna look for it. I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna stare at it. And
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
This is your day.
Thank you so much.
I love you. Here you go.
I was hoping that none of us would get to it.
Here's my question. Hold on. Did you take the box with you when you left to go investigate the ship?
Dang it. Did I?
Or did you leave it on the ship?
We had a conversation about this. Me and PR3, we did something with the box.
We took the box because we didn't want the kids to get their hands on it, and that was the last we talked about it. So we do still have it.
Right.
So it's on your person. Okay, great. You have it, yeah.
I sit cross-legged on the floor and I stare at the box until it reveals its secrets to me.
For 3 nights and 3 days, she stares at the box.
Yeah, are you going to use the Force to do this?
Yeah.
Give me. Actually, don't do it yet because I think there's a negative dice in there. Although it wouldn't matter, I don't think. But give me your dice roll with the power of the Force. Are you going light side or dark side?
No.
There's something about this. You can just normally do it without using the Force, and I won't give you a Force answer. But like you can investigate and try to use your knowledge to figure things out.
I'll do that.
I look for my folder.
I feel like you have to use the dark side to understand it.
Well, you know what? That's why you're not a Jedi.
Neither are you.
Fair. What's investigation in this? I don't see investigation.
This would be sort of a perception roll. I'm trying to, or a knowledge roll, something where you can sort of deduce what it would be. Do you have any abilities like Jedi-ish abilities that you could use as well? I'm trying to dig through this.
Right. I always forget my skill tree stuff. Let me see if there's something in my skill tree.
You do that while I look for the proper folder that has all the information about this damn thing. I gotta find this thing.
He's got to blow the dust off the tome.
Yeah, I know. I'm like going back through everything like, okay, I found the Ring of Kafrene. That was episode like 8 or 9. So I'm like, I gotta go back further. What the hell did I do with this?
Oh, I have Street Smarts, which allows me to remove a black die from underworld checks. So if this is an underworld item, maybe.
There is an underworld aspect to it. If you can give me 1 secaroonie, I can tell you something. There's a lot. So this thing exists in a world where there's like a lot of ways to go at it. What did I do with it? Yes, I can use. You can use Underworld. We can also do other thingoos as well. What did I do with you? I love you thing. I have so many folders. Oh my god. Is it in this folder? Okay. What is so you want to use an underworld check to sort of investigate what this could possibly be? Is that kind of your vibe?
Well, I could do that.
Okay.
If you think that that's most appropriate. I also could use just an education roll.
Absolutely. You could try and deduce what some of this is, sure.
Because I feel like that's, Oda is trying to go deep into the recesses of her mind where any knowledge actually stuck with her from the Jedi Academy and use, maybe one of her teachers was like a Force Arcana teacher that was like teaching me how to identify objects, and she's like trying to remember how to use proofs like that.
Okay. So I think
Oops, I left the Force on there.
That's all right. Yeah. So, all right. So based on your education roll and the things you've learned already about this box, you know that the markings on the outside are no language you've ever seen before. Even PR3 does not know what they are. But you also know this box is a wooden box, which means that it probably, because it is either two things. One, it is either a box that is from a culture that, uses wood on the regular, or it is from a culture that like values wood as a commodity. So it's not, it's either a very, very high tech culture, which is like wood is for rich people, or it's like, or it's like an ancient thing. But based on the aging of it, it appears to be ancient. You also know that because this is something else you've learned, because the carvings on it appear to be sort of like scratched in, it isn't a more modern piece. You also know that based on the micro scans done by PR3, that there are like it is in some way related to the planet of Gamor, based on how it was like the minerals detected within the actual carvings itself. Anyway, for your education role, you know that there have been many symbols and writings and alphabets and all sorts of things programmed into droids, especially droids like PR3, who is a protocol droid, right? Like he knows everything. He should know every conceivable language. This is one he does not know, which to you, based on your education role, means that this comes from somewhere, whatever this original origin point is, comes from somewhere, or the person who crafted it comes from somewhere beyond the Galactic Barrier. The Galactic Barrier, based on your education role, is an area where people just don't go. It is associated with the unknown regions of space. And more importantly, the reason why they're called the unknown regions is because this crazy-ass barrier's there, and it makes hyperspace travel like a pain in the ass. Essentially, it's very hard to route and to make maps of, because there's like weird hyperspace anomalies and like void clouds of like it's every time you go through, it's a different trip. And so it's very hard to get through, and you have to have like very skilled pilots. So people can in fact make it through, but it's impossible to be like, okay, this is how I did it, you can do the same. Like that kind of thing. That's what most hyperspace lanes are. Like some explorer goes and maps a thing and then says, this is how I did it, and then everyone else follows the map. It's impossible to do that with this area. So you know that for a fact. And I'll give you one more. You know that you have seen something very similar to this before, but you're not quite sure where.
I'm assuming because it gave me bad dreams. It's clearly like bad Force feels.
Absolutely.
So that would probably lead me to believe that it's somehow associated with the dark side.
Mm-hmm.
And the dark side is usually associated with the Sith.
Sure.
So, would it be safe for Oda to kind of assume that this is some sort of like Sith-related artifact that's maybe like an outside evil influence kind of thing?
You know it has the dark side connected to it. What you don't recognize are the symbols, and I would assume, and you could find a way to roll for this, but I would assume based on your knowledge of being at the Jedi Academy that you would have seen, like, you know, a Sith holocron or some sort of Sith marking of some sort in your travels or your time there. So I guess you could figure out whether you know it or not.
Can I make another education roll?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah, here's what I'll say. You don't recognize any of it, but for your advantage, it's not something like you don't not know, right? Like, it's not like you're like, this is I don't get it, right? You clearly sense there's something dark and mysterious about this, and there's something very strange, almost otherworldly, like it seems beyond the galaxy. Like something that probably should be long forgotten.
Is there any kind of insight or anything that I could roll? Maybe this is like, that was the first day, this is the next day. Maybe I get another chance with my force roll or something, just to try to figure out like,
Absolutely.
what am I supposed to do? You know, like it's like I kind of know what this is, but how should a young aspiring good force user process an item like this, and what should they do with it? You know?
Sure. Yeah. All right. That was day 1. On day 1, you learned that stuff. Day 2, give me a force roll. I will remove your negativity. Let's see what happens. Nope, still dark side.
Never light side on that ever.
I mean, you have 2 more days, so we can see what happens.
Yeah, Oda gets frustrated on that day and throws the box in a corner, and then goes and tries to get Dio to join her in using some sort of like oil goo that she found in the ship to draw a mustache on PR3 while he's shut down.
Wow.
Yeah. There is plenty of oil goo. In fact, over the days, there becomes more and more weird goos around the ship. It's just a lot of things that are gross on this ship now. Yeah, you can draw whatever you want on PR3. So he has a little mustache on his little pyramid face.
Great. That mollifies Oda somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
And can I try again for the third day?
Third day, give me a roll. Yeah. Nope. The dark side permeates from this thing. In fact, on the third day, you begin to have dreams again of a very familiar white-furred individual who, even though he isn't speaking to you, you have visions of your time spent on Antar, and you can sort of see him trying to guide you down this path. But it's very hazy. But you know that Karn is like with you still in some aspect.
But so I feel him trying to guide me away from the evil, or
no,
he's
like
trying to
down the path towards an answer.
She's really frustrated at this point. She was really tempted to follow this guy. But that's the same guy that told her not to give in to the dark side, so she's very confused.
Well, he's not trying to guide you down the path of the dark side. He's trying to guide you past using the dark side, like finding your peace.
What do you mean?
Well, you're very frustrated. You're trapped. Like, emotionally, Oda is trapped in a box with all these people. It probably is, you know, the air probably is double, triple filtered at this point. Everyone is kind of moody. There's no food. You have probably refiltered water. At this point, probably pea water. Let's be real.
Ugh.
You are, all of you, just imagine being, even with your best friend, stuck in a room for 4 days. After a while, you're all grating on each other, and you're trying to find the peace and mental fortitude to unlock the mysteries of an ancient dark side box that contains some artifact that, as far as you're aware, turns people into zombies. So you know, you're having visions of an old, white, possibly dead, furry Jedi who's like don't worry, I got all the answers. Just come on, follow me. And you're like, oh my god, this sucks, right? And you can't unlock anything. There's no answers coming to you. I imagine it's very stressful. I can understand why you have dark side stuff.
Here's what I want to do. I want to roll a discipline check to see if Oda can resist using this, like stepping over this dark side situation to get to the answer. Can I do that?
I'll allow it. Let me give you some things. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, all right. Give me a force roll. Let's see what happens. Yeah, you see the path of the dark side before you. It is more open than it has ever been. It's like, come on, just come on, use me. I can give you the answers. Like it's almost, if it was a vision, it would be like you approaching the box in this sort of darkly lit room with a one red light shining down the box, and the box is like slowly opening before you. Like, come on, let's take a look inside of all the answers. Right? It's that kind of moment for you, and you use your discipline to sort of fight away that intense feeling of looking directly into the box, revealing answers. But in the process, you can unlock something else that might be of help to you. What kind of roll do you want to make? And I will give you an answer based on it. And the answer might come from an unlikely source.
I guess the answer I want is like, if I can't figure out what the box is for and what it's supposed to be telling me and what the answer is, then I want to know who I should give it to, or whether I should like keep it in my possession. You know, like, should I throw it out the airlock? That kind of thing.
Yeah. The answer you receive is one that informs you that the box itself has no real power, but the box is able to contain the power of the artifact that was once in it. And now that it is out, right? So imagine the vision is like the box opens and it's like, look inside me. And when you look inside, rather than finding answers, you see straight up literally an empty box, right? And the revelation is that the box is meaningless. The box serves no purpose. But whatever was in the box, this box is what contains it. Like the reason why the gems on the outside radiate with dark side energy, the reason why it hums at night in your sleep, the reason why it like gives you these terrible dreams is because it like sucks up the residual dark side energy into itself and prevents it from leaking out. And so now that you just have this like box that's like flopping around, all that dark side energy is still there. It's contained within it, and it's like, you know, hitting you and affecting you. But the idea is that whatever was once inside that, it was put there for the reason of like locking it tight, putting on a latch, and putting it away somewhere far, far away from people.
Okay. So I imagine that I should probably keep it in case we encounter that horrible artifact that needs to be contained.
Absolutely. Yes. And if you want to give me one more roll, I'll let you decide what kind of roll you want it to be. It can be like a knowledge roll, it can be anything. You did recognize this from somewhere, but there was something strange about your recognition of it, and I want to give you the opportunity to delve deeper into that. Since it's day 4, you're starving, you're in full like meditation mode. It's the only way you're making it through.
Well, if I've seen it before, then it presumably it would have been that I like happened upon something like that in all of my smuggling days. Maybe like I saw it in a marketplace, or it was in a hold and I was trying to like grab something else and I saw something like that or something. So what about a skullduggery roll? Or streetwise?
Yes. I will let you roll skullduggery.
Okay.
Let me give you this. Go for it. Part of your smuggling past, great.
Yay!
Perfect. You recognize it all right, but not because you've seen it in person. Not because you've ever been around it before, but this is something you've seen in a photo. And you know, and it's a photo that in your smuggling days you saw on the desk of one of your former employers. And it was in a photo with one person, but you don't remember that person. You just know that somewhere in your past, and we can delve into that should you want to once we get out of this current scenario. One of the people you worked with in the past knows a person who was with this box at one point in time.
She treats that like it is the biggest scientific discovery anyone's ever made. Like once she remembers that, she's like, ah! Like she screams that into the ship.
Yeah.
And if anyone asks her what, she's like, "Don't worry, I figured it out." She doesn't say what.
Sure. The fourth day arrives. PR3. Your servos whiz to life. Your eyes glow brightly once anew. And you see before you 4 emaciated, very disgusting looking flesh beings. What do you say or do?
Look at the state of this ship. The horror.
Yeah, he powers back online, and the 4 of you are just sitting there. Do you do anything? Do you say anything?
Oda tries not to giggle.
Maybe we can eat PR3.
You can digest ours.
I'll digest anything right now.
By all means, then.
His little mustache is like, Ormstein.
What are you snickering at?
Oh, nothing. You look fresh as a daisy.
I should hope so. I gave myself a good polishing before I shut down.
It shows.
Suddenly, several alarms begin to go off in the cockpit. It's almost as if PR3 timed himself to wake up right when this were to happen. They're very loud. It's the loudest sound you've heard in 4 days. It's like pinging, like a terrible alarm. Just like the worst alarm when you have to wake up early.
Ugh.
Okay.
Do I know what that is?
It's still going.
Do I have any idea? I'll go check, I suppose.
Yeah. It's the, you've entered a system.
Oh,
You've entered. There's an
it's
alert.
You've entered a system alarm?
Yeah, it's the you've entered a system alarm, and you are in a system with literally a small sun, a very, very small sun, almost like a white dwarf, and a very small one singular planet with no moons around it.
Mm-hmm. It looks like we have arrived within the system of our destination.
Mop, 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 mop.
Alago looks. I wouldn't call that a system. Addy, turn that noise off.
Mop, 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 mop.
Addy, turn that noise off.
Mop, 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 mop.
Oh my god, I'm gonna walk up to it. Can I do a mechanics check to see if I know how to turn it off?
Sure. Yeah, of course you do. Of course you know how to turn it off. It's literally a button. You press the button. It's off. It turns off. Yeah, you nailed it. You get something related to that with the power of your triumph. You knew it so well. What happened?
I have okay. Can I use that to I don't know how to word it. The system we have entered versus where we were going back to. How far away are we, or where is this versus that?
At light speed, it would take 15 minutes. At your normal rate of speed, what I guess in Star Trek would be your impulse power. Your just normal rate of speed that you have right now literally would take you weeks.
Does this look like a planet though that has like life?
PR3 identified it at the end of last episode as a planet where you could it's habitable. You can land there, but there is nothing in any of the Imperial records about this planet. It is a place that they have not even like stopped to look at.
Well, I mean, if we're there, I guess we'd have to guide it down.
Yeah, chat's telling me it's sublight speed, but I don't know if that's is that the canonical Star Wars term for it? I don't know. Yeah, the group of you can straight up go down there if you want. And that's where PR3 took you.
I have a question, Jesse. Since we are basically resting, do we get any like strain recovery or anything?
I will let you decide. I'll give you a roll. Pick whatever your highest skill is. This is gonna be great. Pick whatever your highest skill is. Any successes you get, you are clear and free of strain. Any successes or oh, my brain just died. Any successes or advantage, I'll let you clear strain and your wounds. But if you don't get any successes and you have any negative things, you literally, it's only gotten worse since you've been on here, since you've been in this box.
But I'm
choose
fine,
to
though,
abstain.
So.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
I don't have any wounds.
Yeah, if you have
Just
any
die.
stress,
A ton of strain.
Since I'm special and I'm a robot, I can get rid of the one strain I had, right?
Sure. I mean,
Thank you.
you literally powered down. You have no strain. You're fine. You
Well, guys,
went
I'm
to bed
fine.
and
Don't
woke
worry
up
about
4
me.
days later. You're good. You are experiencing no symptoms.
I know, man. He's got a mustache. That's pretty strainful.
I don't know about it.
He doesn't
Ignorance is
know.
bliss.
There's no mirror. Yeah.
Imagine not knowing why people are laughing at you. That is strain.
Does PR3 care?
No.
I don't even notice.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go and roll for a pocket, pick whatever your best thing is, and we'll see what happens.
Can it be brawl?
Sure. Yeah, roll
Wait,
brawl.
really?
Yeah, I'll let you roll your best. Whatever. You're not brawling. You're taking time to. Yeah, sure. You get your success. And what I'll give you is I'll give you a -3 strain.
Okay.
So yeah, it sucks. I mean, you're stuck on this damn thing, but like it's all right. Okay.
It was not all right.
You see this planet before you. It's again a little tiny white dwarf star, and around it, this planet, as you begin to get closer, it also looks kind of whitish. But the closer you get to it, you notice there are splotches of red throughout, and it appears that the water or whatever's on the surface is sort of reflecting this white glow, but the ground, whatever ground it may be, as you get closer, appears red.
Okay.
You can do any scans you would like. You can like do whatever you want to try and figure out what this is. But the closer you get to it, I mean, you're still headed towards it. The closer you get to it, the more you see that the land masses, whatever they are sort of red. They have this weird red crimson glow to them.
Is there like, do we know if it's a breathable atmosphere and stuff?
Yes, PR3 last episode discovered that like this is the closest breathable atmosphere planet near you.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can land, get out, like do your thing, sure.
Okay.
What is that?
Perhaps it is lava. They wouldn't let me practice my pronunciations, okay?
Well, couldn't it just be like, red mud?
Lava.
Perhaps.
Sorry. PR3, what did you say it might be?
I think that we should do preliminary scans before attempting to land. It could be lava.
Gotcha.
I think that
Scan away.
shutdown got a few circuits crisscrossed in what's going on inside. It's not how you say
Fancy
that.
gentleman now. That's how he says it. He's, look at him.
Landing in lava is incredibly dangerous. It could melt the ship. That is the danger of lava touching metal.
You'll get
Right.
there.
Right, you are, Peter.
I mean, he's not off. Yeah. Do you want to do a scan PR3 of the planet's surface to figure out what it is that
Most
you've
certainly,
discovered?
yeah. All right, what is that? A computer for scan?
Yeah, that's a computer check. Go crazy. Go crazy. Give me one more roll because you have no counter dice there for some reason.
Oh wow. Okay.
I don't know what it is. You scan the surface and you detect it is not lava,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't know what it is.
Sorry.
Have I ever been to a planet that has like red mud before?
Sure. All over the galaxy, there's all sorts of crazy colored planets. This is nothing special or different. It just looks red, and it's like a red and
fine.
white planet.
Was that
Yeah,
one
it's-
planet from the new trilogy that had this red salt?
Oh yeah.
Crate is the name of that
Crate?
planet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It could be similar to the planet Crate. It could be red salt.
I don't think he's working right.
Yeah, I think we might need to check them wires in you.
Dude's
I
got
think he sounds
stealth
just
and-
perfect.
I seem to have gotten grease in my ocular circuitry.
Yeah, we can fix that. Let's find food first, then we'll take a look at whatever got mixed match in it.
Look,
Red
if that's salt, I can probably eat it. So take us down.
You don't want to eat just salt?
I want to eat just salt right now.
We can just cook this guy, make him a little salty, you know.
We could season him with salt.
Exactly. See?
What? Don't eat me. Let me
Um,
eat something first. At least let me have the salt.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't eat you. You smell fucking awful.
True.
Thank you. At least I live another day.
Yeah, we'll
Like-
see about that.
Like he grins a really gross grin at you, Dio, and he's like, "Come on, I'm good company."
No, you're not.
We learned
You
his
be-
name.
No, you never even asked. No one's asked that they've said they want to know this
I-
guy's name.
I would have asked him.
Okay.
I would have
his
asked him
name-
during our story sessions.
Sure. His name is Nagat Devere.
Awful name.
Yep. Awful name for an awful guy.
Truly
Nagat
awful name.
Devere.
Nagat Devere is his name.
Nougat. Nougat
And,
devil.
Just a reminder. Look, just so you're reminded about the names of all these villains. I believe the guy that Pocket's arch nemesis is named Veth Tavend. So just don't come at me. I didn't make these names up. I auto named them. Yeah, thanks, internet. You're doing the work for me. So yeah, his name's Nagat Dovir. And he is a Devoronian kind of like enforcer of the Dread Rabbit. And okay. As the group of you sort of small talk your way down, PR3, you pilot this ship towards the planet. And you see, as you begin to enter the atmosphere, that the ground beneath you, the surface area that isn't this weird sort of almost clear but white reflecting liquid, the rest of the planet, the places that are soil, are red because there are like billions, let's say, of trees growing up from them that have red leaves. And they come in all different sizes, but it all appears to be one variety of tree. It doesn't appear like, on Earth there's, all the different varieties of trees. This appears as you begin to enter the atmosphere, and as you give a cursory scan of everything that's on this planet from above, you see, like, it appears it's kind of one variety of tree across the entire planet, just in different sizes, and they're all, like, bright crimson red. Like, this very dark, but, like, red.
It's a monobiome.
Yarp. It's a very small planet.
Do I see a nice place to sit down?
You see many nice places to sit down. In fact, the place I will give you several choices to choose from because I love you that much.
Oh, thank you.
You have one area that, at least from your height, appears to be an opening within a forest, and it is sort of surrounded by these red trees that as you get closer you can see sort of the branches are kind of whitish, right? So it's this red with like white branches and white trunks sort of extending up into these red trees, and you see a small clearing that you can definitely set the shuttle down in. Another location you see is one that appears to be between two rivers, and the two rivers sort of intersect and form another longer river, and that area seems to be sort of a floodplain. There are no trees there. And then you see one area that appears to have a strange mound in the middle, and it seems to have two sort of empty rows, like almost like the trees are aligned in rows leading towards this mound.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I ask everyone's opinion of where to sit down.
Oda's oohing and ahhing over how pretty the trees are. She's no help.
Based on the descriptions of what you gave us, which one would, I guess I'd ask ULAGO which one he thinks might have the highest possible chance of having like some sort of wild animal that living there. If that makes sense.
Is the mound close to the water too?
The mount, so the way I would describe it is,
I would think that they
in
would
more
want
detail
water.
as you approach, I'll give you this. The area that is the opening, it's just a normal, it appears to be a normal clearing in the
Mhm.
woods. But around it are, you know, as many trees as you could possibly count.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like in the heart of the forest.
Mm.
The second area is straight up in that sort of, you know, that like triangle-ish area between two rivers as they connect. And there's nothing in there at all except a place to land. But, you know, there's two rivers there. And then the last area is an area that is this strange mound that you can see from above that appears to have like trees aligned with it,
Mm.
forming rows, and there appears at least to be water in some way associated with it, but it's hard to tell. You can't
So
tell
it
if
looks
it's
like
like
a
rivers.
sentient being planted these trees purposefully.
I don't know.
Would it seem like it?
You would have to give me a roll.
I want to roll.
What do you know?
Perception.
I mean, sure. Yeah.
Well, damn it.
I will simply say it doesn't look like any sentience you've ever seen.
Okay.
I would suggest setting down near the river, because that is water, and things that drink water can be hunted.
Correct. Also, things in the water can be hunted.
Also, I
correct.
I would like to drink some.
That too.
Sure. The group of you decide to go to number 2. Once again, choosing medium as always. I love this team. And you begin to approach the sort of flat area between the two rivers. And as the shit sets down, you hear like a thud and a bunch of steam vents and the normal hisses of all the gases of your ship echoing outside the shuttle as you vent all the terrible smells and things that are in there with you, and the ship comes to a stop. You can see ahead of you, straight ahead, right out the window, the two rivers coming together in the distance and going off sort of like into the horizon, and you can see that around the river are still those trees. There's thousands and thousands of these trees. And it appears like, you know, they've been there forever. And it appears there's no sign of any civilization here at all. At least where you're at.
Okay.
You say we landed?
You have landed. You are
Alright.
down. Yeah.
Okay.
Do we know if the river is safe to drink?
If there's a breathable atmosphere, the chances are it's going to be
Can I
good.
do robot
don't
sensor
know.
tests on the water?
Sure. You have a little thing in your finger.
Oh yeah, that's right. Finger
Your
thing.
hand is like, your hand can sense whatever the hell you want.
Mm-hmm.
This is urine.
Shall I test the water for viability?
Please.
I'm gonna drink it anyway, but feel free.
I have
Yeah,
to
the
wait
back-
a moment.
The back of the shuttle opens up, and for the first time in 4 days, like you smell. It's if you've ever just left a big city and gone out into like the wilderness, it just smells different. Like there's like, and the air comes rushing in, and it's fresh air. It's not the smell of any of you. It is the smell of like leaves and the breeze and pollen or something like that, and it's you all can inhale deeply this air. PR3, you detect nothing awry with the air. There's no like
Okay.
evil bugs or bacteria. This isn't like an Aliens movie
Yeah.
where now you're all
I was
dead.
gonna say.
No, there's this. This is Star Wars. For some reason, they can go to every planet, everywhere, and be fine.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
So you everything about the air seems to be okay.
Okay.
The atmosphere is clean.
All right. I'm gonna go over the water so that I can test it.
Yeah, you walk down the plank to
And
the soil of this planet, and you notice that
Hmm?
the soil itself is also kind of like sandy. Like it's when you walk out onto this floodplain, it is very moist,
Mm-hmm.
and there is like a white layer on top of it, like a sandy white layer of grit or something. But as you step into it, the weight of your robot body sort of leaves sticky, muddy prints as you move through, and when you come up, your feet have sort of like a caked mud layer to it.
Ah.
Disgusting.
All right. So I'll go over to the water
Sure.
and notice my reflection.
Yeah, one of the things you notice right away is that your reflection is barely visible. Like there's
No.
it's like it shines bright whitish almost, the water.
Okay. So the Oda gets away with it this time, then, right? Because I can't see the mustache.
Unfortunately, you cannot see your mustache. It's like a shiny reflection of white. You can make out the outline of your body, but you
So
can't see the
I'm
detail.
I'm absolutely sure I look spectacular then.
You
I'm gonna
look
test the
amazing.
water. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, you dip a finger into the water,
Mm-hmm.
and the readings in your sensors detect that the water is very drinkable, but that there are unknown elements in the water. There's something strange about the water, but it won't hurt in any way the stomach lining or the intestinal tract of anyone on the ship.
It'll just make Oda high again. Is probably what'll happen.
There's no carcinogens, there's no narcotics, and there's no like downers of it. There's no actual drugs involved in this water. Unfortunately for Oda, sadly, no ability to get high off of this. Unfortunately.
Oda pretends not to be disappointed.
Good.
Oda Kanali, the first high Jedi. That's what it's about.
She's a Jedi.
The water seems viable, although it contains trace amounts of unknown substance. I would not suggest prolonged exposure.
ULAGO dunks his head.
Yeah, I do the same.
Yeah, the
Happily.
group of you. Are you jumping in, Oda? What are you doing?
No, I'm just drinking daintily from the side.
Sure. Yeah, the group of you begin to sort of drink. The Devoronian literally jumps in, like straight up jumps in, and begins to wash himself down in the water that is
He's
flowing
dead.
downstream towards you. Did I die? Am I gone?
Stream
No, you're
from
good.
him.
No. He's dead. He's the one who jumps into the water like an idiot on the alien planet.
I rolled in too. I
Oh
jumped
well.
in as well. Yeah.
All right, yeah. So he jumps in and is just like rubbing himself down in this water, and he's just splashing in his face. It is, for being this weird sort of white glowy water, it seems like it's the pure good stuff. It is. This dude is everyone's like, oh, this is natural spring water. This is the good. And so he starts like pouring it into his mouth, and he looks at all of you, and he has this grin with his sharp teeth, and he's very excited. And after a few moments of you all doing this, it kind of comes to a stop naturally as you have your fill and you feel sort of relieved about being able to get out and move and not be cramped up. What do you do now?
Look for food.
Look for food was going to be my answer also.
Yeah. What's the plan? How are you going to do this? What is your strategy to look for food?
I look for like plant life, tubers, berries, mushrooms.
Yeah, give me a check for that. What is your what are you doing? How are you looking?
Survive.
I'm going to attempt to see if there are any fish in the shallow parts of the water.
Yeah.
Which I guess would be perception?
Yeah, give it you both can roll perception on this, because it's one you're looking in the forest kind of, or on the banks.
No!
Yeah, Lago, you don't see any fish.
I hate perception.
Too dark.
Oda, yeah, you can't see any berries.
Would you like me to make use of my flamethrower? Perhaps I could burn the forest down, and then you could eat whatever's left over on the ground. Surely it would be cooked by that time.
You'd also scare off all the wildlife, and we wouldn't have anything to eat.
I'm gonna look for tracks.
Yeah, by all means, give me a look.
Perception.
Yeah. Nothing. You see no tracks whatsoever.
Are there scanners on this ship that can help us search for
Your scanners
anything?
have done all the scanning that they can do of this planet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm going to look through the scope of my original rifle.
Now remember, you guys have your advantage that you can give to someone else for a roll too.
I'll give mine to Lago.
I have hunting goggles.
Okay.
Grant a bonus dice to any perception check made to locate prey. Removes up to 2 black dice imposed due to concealment, darkness, or fog. I'm going to put on my goggles and I'm going to look through my rifle scope and see if I can see any movement, anything at all around us.
Mm-hmm. Give me a roll.
Okay. Shall I add the blue dice myself?
They're already on there.
Rolling perception.
Oh yeah, we have tons of light side points. Probably
Yeah,
should
you can
some.
use those too.
And I'm going to use a light side point.
There you go.
hey.
All right, upgrading. Go for it. Woo! Yeah, super success. You look through your goggles, and what you see beyond the tree line. So around you, you see nothing. You see nothing in the water at all. Period. You do not see fish. You do not see anything along the shoreline drinking from the water. You see nothing. When you look into the trees, you see no birds. You don't see anything sort of like, you don't see any of that. What you do see beyond the tree line, through the trees themselves, through the goggles, you can see the outline as it sort of like zooms through trees, like layers of trees, right? And does that cool like VR thing where you're like going through the trees. You see that there is something moving in the woods. And not just a something, many somethings. And they are moving quickly and in a way that is not like what you would consider natural.
Ugh.
I think we've got a problem.
Uh-oh. How big of a problem?
I don't know, but it's coming this way in an unnatural speed.
Maybe inside for a minute.
I'll bring out my vibro sword.
Yeah. You pull it out and it hums with a pink glow.
Everybody get in cover.
Perhaps reconsider letting me burn down the forest now.
I'm now considering it to a degree, yes. For now, stay hidden.
Are you going to go back into the ship, or are you going to stay like where you're at right now is straight up a literal plain. There's nothing here but the ship and the rivers and you.
And ship
dirt
can take
on the
off
ground.
again?
I guess like head for the tree line.
Sure.
Wait, can the ship take off again?
Yeah, of course. You're not missing any like fuel or anything. You just, you can take off again for sure.
We can still use the ship to egress to another location.
At the speed they're moving, do I think we would even make it in time?
Yeah, I mean, you see them moving, but you don't know, like, they're moving around you, not towards you.
Right. They're moving around us, not towards us. I just don't know what it is.
That's alarming.
Look, let's just hit the tree line and wait for him to pass.
Why don't we just go back to the ship and wait?
Fine. I do not want to spend another fucking minute on that ship.
I know, it sucks, but it's probably a bit safer. We can't get surrounded as much, hopefully.
I agree.
What do you mean?
On the
We're going
contrary, I
back?
think we can get surrounded very easily on that ship.
Well, yes and
Why
no.
would
I
we
mean,
go
we
back
don't
to the
have to get
ship?
surrounded
What
by
did you see? What is happening?
I don't know, something moving real fucking fast.
I don't know. You stay out here and see what it is.
A big thing.
Maybe I will stay out here, Tile Fang.
Maybe you should.
Maybe I will.
I nod at him to follow me and I head for the tree line.
Okay, yeah, he goes with you. And he looks back at Dio and he's like, can I have a weapon if this turns badly?
I point my weapon at him like I'm gonna shoot him.
Well, I'm trying to help you.
And I look at Ulaga and I'm like, don't give him a weapon.
I'm not going to give him a
Don't.
bloody weapon. You don't
Don't
get a
give him
weapon.
Well, then what am I supposed to do? Use my hands?
Yes.
Pick up a stick or something. I don't give a fuck.
Oh my god. So as we see Ulago running for the trees, you see this guy following him, like looking on the ground, trying to find a weapon, like as he's slowly falling behind you. Dio, Oda, PR3, you're by the ship. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna go prep for flight.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna go into the ship.
Okay.
Stand
And-
in the doorway with.
Yeah, I'd probably go to the doorway too and just keep watch.
Sure. Yeah. As the group of you move back to the ship and PR3 starts to sort of prep for flight, Ulago, you and the Devoronian, you and Nagat go towards the trees, and as you get there, you can hear in the forest like lots of clicks. You can hear lots of clicking, like.
Oh, I hate bugs. You hear that?
Is
Of
it for
course I
sure
hear it.
bugs?
How can I not hear it? It sounds terrifying.
Yeah, it does sound terrifying.
Well, maybe we can eat those.
I imagine we could. They'd probably have a lot of protein.
Yeah, he like
Right.
shouts. He shouts into the comlink back at you, Oda. He's like, "If you can kill one."
Bearing in mind, though, they're probably looking to eat us.
I don't want to be eaten by a bug.
Look, we can't get back in the ship and leave. We will starve.
Then maybe we could land somewhere else. There's plenty of places.
What, you mean here?
Yeah.
They're far from. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They're far from the ship, though, right? Like we're on comms right now.
Yes, you guys are on your comms.
Okay.
Ooh.
He's shouting
Great.
over Ulago's shoulder to
Mhm.
you.
My
Um,
suggestion was to simply move locations. We're not leaving the planet.
Where else are we going to go?
There were a number of other locations.
I can bet your bottom dollar that mound that we saw is just their home.
Perhaps.
Good, then he can flamethrower it.
Take a whole bunch of branches from these trees, put them in a circle around the ship. PR3 can light them on fire with his flamethrower, and then we can one by one cook bugs as they come in.
I like that idea.
Is that Oda?
Yeah.
Yes, hello.
What have you done with Oda?
I had a long rest.
Only hungry Oda here now.
There's no evil in killing bugs.
Do I...
All the spice wore off.
How far away is this clicking noise? Is there one near us?
You know from what you saw in your macro binoculars that straight up they're deep in the woods, but you also recognize that because you can hear the like that click, like a lot of clicks, there must be hundreds, if not more, of them, whatever they are.
This is a good call for fire right now. And I
Look,
look at PR3.
We got two choices. We can try and find a scout, kill it, or I guess we get back in the ship and look somewhere else.
By clicking back at them, perhaps you can open a dialogue.
Or piss it off even more.
Anyone else got any input?
Yeah, get back on the ship. We'll go somewhere else.
Why? Why can't we make a fire circle?
Ulago, how many do you think there are? A few?
Oh, there's
Can we
hundreds.
take? Oh, hundreds?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think a fire circle is gonna help much in that.
Eat
If they have a
one at
nest,
some
though,
point.
if they have a nest, we can set it on fire. And I look at
And
PR3.
flush all of the rest of them out?
I don't
Or burn them. You know.
I don't think the nest is flammable.
To exterminate all of these bugs, just... We don't want to throw off the entire ecosystem.
I'm hungry. I'm
I
willing
kind
to
of do now.
We should get visual first. Send in the Devorian.
All right. I look
What?
at I look
What?
I look at the Devorian. Let's get back to the ship.
Are you
Well,
kidding me right now?
Look, we'll just fly over him and have a look.
Well, this is a stupid droid. I'm a Devoronian, not a Devorian. Devorians, they have the one horn with the. What is the matter with you?
You
I
keep going.
thought
You keep going. You'll be a decoyan. All right. Now
I
come on.
hate all of you. I changed my mind. You're not good people at all.
I'll leave you here.
What do you? What do we want me to do?
Back on the ship.
All right. And he like begins to move as quickly as possible to get back onto the ship.
Yeah, I jog after him.
Yeah. The two of you reach it after some time, but in that time you hear the clicks audibly from the ship now. They are moving closer to you.
Okay. Do we have time to board the ship?
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, they're still in the forest, but you can hear the clicks, like, before you could only hear it from the forest, now you can hear it from the ship.
Oh, they're
So
getting
it's moving
closer.
closer.
Fucking move. Move.
Yeah, what's your plan?
Get.
GTFO.
So you're just gonna take off and fly away?
I don't like to fly away, but
I think
get,
we're gonna
like,
take
get up
off
in the air.
and look down and see what we're dealing with.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The ship launches up into the air as quickly as you can make it. And you see on your right the tree line shaking violently. And something is moving through the trees. And after a few very tense moments, as the tree line vibrates more and more towards the water of this river, out from the trees, you see hundreds and hundreds of little tiny arachnid-looking creatures. They have 8 legs on each side, and then they have sort of like 4 chomper things in front, but they're like butts, you know, like where what would that be, the thorax? What is that called on a spider?
That sounds
Whatever
right.
whatever the butt of a spider is.
Spider butt.
Instead is like a shell of like some sort of like a slug, or so, you know, like it's a big hardy like carapace where its
Okay.
abdomen would be, and that armor sort of extends down along its 8 legs up until like the pincers, and there are like uncountable numbers of these little things moving across. And then as they start to move over the water, and you can see the water just like almost separate into long lines of these things as they move through, you can see behind them, moving through, the real reason why the trees were moving, these ones that are like 5 times bigger than the others.
Ooh.
And while the others appear to be like human size, these things are maybe the size of a Rancor. They are huge. They look very similar, except instead of being all black, these things they have the black carapace, but the fleshy bits are reddish pink. And you can see them as they sort of like stumble through. They are much slower than the others, but it definitely appears that they are kind of like brutes. And after a good 15 to 20 minutes, this horde sort of passes through the area and is gone.
So they weren't coming after us. They were just kind of like moving through.
They were just moving through.
I mean, they're probably like just moving through and eating whatever they find.
Yeah.
We dodged a bullet.
Could one tell if they were if their mandibles were for trees or for meat?
What you can definitely tell is that the area they came from is like ravaged. You don't know if they were eating it, but you can see the trees are just broken and, torn asunder, and the red leaves are on the ground now, and it's just a mess where they came from. And then you can see where they went to, they've left behind another trail, another mess.
And do we see any other trails like this?
Check. Yeah, you can give me a perception check if you want PR3.
Okay. It really hurt, but I'm really perceptive.
Yeah, these look very much like the trails that were leading to that mound you saw when you guys came in. That had sort of a sentience to it, but no sentience you've ever seen before.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the ones.
So what else can we do on this planet that's gonna get us closer to not dying?
Look, if we want something to eat, we're gonna have to get ahead of it.
But then even if we found something to eat, do I know how many days it would like take to get to like where we're going next?
If you use the shuttle you have, it would take you weeks to get where you're going.
Okay, well, yeah. So we would have to look around for something else.
We need a nice week-long supply of spider meat is what we need.
And maybe like a poo bucket this time.
There is one thing you guys haven't done yet that I'm surprised you haven't done. I think it's because you forgot.
Try and contact R3.
For some reason, I didn't think that the communication band would reach that far.
You picked it up in like the 3rd episode. You have a universal galactic transmitter.
I mean, God. I think our focus is on food and water, and then
sure, of course,
and then I'll get
you can make a call.
Weren't we about to call him like right when we ended last
episode? He could probably fly the ship here.
Yeah, we were like, he can fly to meet us. We were gonna call him.
We weren't gonna call him. We did a post show, and someone mentioned as a question.
Yeah, are they gonna use it?
R3.
Yeah.
And Jesse was like, "Hey, dude, I'm not gonna read that question out loud because it will help them." But I read it. I read it anyway, and here we are.
Still, here we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely can. You can just contact your astromech droid and be like, "Hey, can you pick us up?"
Also, I mean, if we're looking for information about this place, we can contact him and see if he has any, just as a reason to contact him.
He does seem to know a lot of things, even when PR3 doesn't know them.
Yeah, and he's nicer.
That hurt my feelings.
Oh.
You don't have feelings.
I had one feeling left, and now it's bruised.
That's all on you, Oda.
I didn't know you had any, but that's nice to know. I'll take better care of it.
Your one feeling. It's like a Tamagotchi.
Yeah.
You just gotta take care of it.
I was nurturing it.
It had a little poop next to it.
Gotta clean that up. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little poop.
Well, PR3, seeing as you're the only one that can really communicate with R3, you think...
do I have to?
Yeah. Maybe we'll let you burn something before we leave here, seeing as I don't like anything that lives here so far.
Very well.
I will call R3 or try.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some like static, like a weird static to it, but it's using your ship's transmitter and it appears to work fine. And yeah, on the other end here, it just keeps a nonstop verbiage of droid speak is yelling back at you, basically saying like, "Where have you been? I've been here for 4 days. Do you know how hard it is to keep random people off your ship for 4 days? Where are you? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm new here. I've literally been alive for like a week and a half. What is happening? You know, like that."
Stop talking and listen, you tin bucket. We're going to need your aid.
It's
I'll
sort of
bring
like,
him up to date on the situation.
yeah, it chirps with approval of being needed. And yeah, Gizmo says back to you, "Hey, I will be there as soon as I can."
Thank you. Don't become full of yourself, though.
Yeah, you hear like an acknowledgement of like, "I won't."
What did it say?
He's on his way. And he developed an attitude.
Probably got it from you.
I still have mine.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
It's pretty solid. That was a pretty solid goof.
Dad jokes, dude. I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah, so you find yourself sort of just waiting right now. What's the plan?
Well, I guess we
Look.
go look around a little bit more.
I mean, are they heading in the direction away from the mound that we saw?
Yes.
If that just went past us, there might not be much in that mound. Maybe enough that we can handle. Could maybe get some food.
Yeah, but what if they're like, what if they have like a leader or something that stays back in the mound and they all go out and get the food and bring it back?
What if the whole planet has tunnels underneath?
How's that gonna help
I don't
us?
think all of them being out here means there aren't more down there.
Yeah, true. That's why we should just block it and then burn it.
Let's make a trap.
I really need some food.
No
It's
one
been
liked
4
my
days.
circle idea. So now let's try to think of another way to get.
You know what? I'm gonna do this your guys' way, and the second I get a chance to eat something, I'm gonna do it.
Okay,
How long is it going to take R3 to get here?
He didn't say. He just said he's on his way.
Would
You know that from space,
Yeah.
it's a straight like 15-20 minute shot. But that doesn't include getting out of atmosphere, navigation, like all that stuff. Like it's just it could literally be there in half an hour. You have no clue.
Okay.
You have no idea what it's going to take an astromech droid to pilot to get to you.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't know.
R3 could arrive here within the next hour. I don't think you want to be down an insect hole when he gets here.
That's true.
Oh, if he's going to be here in an hour, then we can just tell stories.
He doesn't have any food either.
Can we?
We didn't have food on our ship?
Oh no! Remember the kids ate it all.
Yeah, the kids ate all the food.
Can we hover the ship over the mound and pick off things that come out? I mean, we got guns. So if we can
Sure.
get a couple down, then we can fly down and pick them up and then not have to risk getting overwhelmed by hundreds or thousands.
Consider this. Let's
Works
put
for
a
me.
camera on the captive and send
Hold
him down the hole.
Hold on, did I do that incorrectly? Hold on. Nope,
You
I
just-
didn't. I
You
didn't.
actually rolled a crit.
Yeah, all right. Well, this should be interesting.
Oh, God.
As the
Great.
group of you are having a conversation, the Devoronian looks out the window and screams like a horrifying scream, like a blood-curdling scream you don't expect to come out of his mouth. And he like backs up against the entrance. Did you close or open the entrance? The entrance is like the ramp
Close
up or
is from
down.
the air, right?
I thought
So
we were
it's
in
us?
the air.
Yeah, so he like
it's-
slams back against the entrance, like, and starts to claw his way out. And his eyes look like he's seen pure terror. And he's like, "They're here! They're here!" And like starts banging on the walls.
Can we
Ooh.
make it go higher? Make it fly fast?
They're
You
on
know,
the
do
ship!
some
They're on the ship!
On the ship?
Time to shake them.
Do I look around? Are there any?
Give
Can
me
I
a
see any
perception Give me a
All
perception
right.
check. Nope, you don't see any. PR3, you can't tell. This is weird. You're sort of like distracted by this giant Devoronian. Lago, yeah.
Perhaps
Bye.
there
Dio,
was
Lago, you
something.
see none. You see
Perhaps
none.
perhaps there was something in the water.
Wait, I got 2 successes and I see none?
You see nothing. There's nothing on the ship. He is freaking out and staring out the window and screaming about how he's seeing these creatures
Do I
on
see
the
them?
ship. No,
We look at the window and they're just not there.
they're not there. He's literally screaming. He's like pointing at them and he's like panicking. He's having a panic attack and he's like begins to sort of punch at the door panel and he's trying to hack it, like break the back of this door
I
open.
put my
and
gun on stun and I turn it on him and I shoot.
all right, give me 1 second.
Nice.
Oh,
Let's see
Calm
what
down.
happens. Let's see if he pulls this off before you shoot him.
Oh god.
All right. Give me a shot with your gun on stun, please. Actually, hold on.
Is it light or heavy? It's light, right?
Which gun are you using?
It's a blaster.
Oh, then that's a light. Yeah. He punches into the console and the door, the back of it, the ramp extends down and the door opens. And as you blast him, you stun him and he falls to the ground like a lump. But the back of the shuttle is like open to the elements now.
We should have threw him out in space when we had the chance.
Shouldn't we pick him back up?
He is an awful person. Don't become his friend. But I do. I walk up and I pick him up and throw him back in the ship.
Yeah, Dio, you pick him up and as you lift him from the ground, you begin to hear a voice.
Uh-oh.
And the voice says to you, "Me." And it's a voice you recognize, but you see nothing. It's like a faint, it's very faint, like help me. Like a very faint voice. And it only happened when you touched this guy.
Is there something on him?
Oh no.
Is there a check I can do to see if like he's got something on him?
Yeah.
Like drugs
go
or
for
something? Like is he drugged or
I don't
hallucinating?
know,
or
go for it. Give me a check. See if you detect something on him.
I'm
Yeah.
guessing it would be what? Perception?
You can-
or what?
Yeah, detect him.
Check for glowing
You-
leeches.
Yeah, the group of you see that Dio has walked over to this guy and begun to sort of like dig through his clothing and almost like ripping the clothing off of him looking for something. Dio, you find nothing. There's nothing there.
Well, that's weird. And I'll try to ignore the voice. Even though I know what the voice is, but I'll try to
How do you
ignore
try
it.
to ignore it?
Just shut it out. Just
But like in what way?
hey PR3, can you start pronouncing things real quick? Just like lava. Can you pronounce lava?
Lava.
Keep going. Practice. You need to practice. And I'll like try to listen as if he
Yeah.
continues.
As he practices, the voice that comes out of his mouth is that of a little girl.
Never mind. Stop. Nope. Ugh.
Yeah, it begins to like echo and ring in your hand or in your head.
Uh-oh.
Meanwhile, Ulago,
Yes.
the red trees, as you stare out the back of the ship, the red trees down below no longer look like red leaves. It's almost
Okay.
if the trees are on fire, burning around you. The entire ground beneath you is lit ablaze.
Oh, what the fuck? PL3, what did you do?
I've
did you-
been sitting here.
Oh my god. It's all burning. Oh, I'm not going to be able to eat anything.
I detect no burning.
They're
You mean look at it?
hallucinating. PR3, something's wrong with them.
Look
I
it!
think there was something in the water.
As he says that, Oda, you begin to hear your old master reach out to you through the Force. Maybe. And tell you how truly disappointed they are in you. You hear, like, you feel the disappointment in their voice about how they simply cannot believe where you are, what you're doing with these people, how you led a life of smuggling, and you can hear this voice. In fact, let's see if it's more than that. Yeah, in fact, standing in the doorway of this now open ramp, a vision comes to you of your master, but not like a Force vision, like a weird Force ghost. Literally just your master is standing there staring at you.
I know. Terrible student. She crumbles to the ground and just crying at the feet of her master. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Here's your lightsaber back.
There's nothing there.
You hand the lightsaber, and do you let go?
Only if she takes it. You know what I mean?
She reaches out to take it from you. She's disappointed.
All right, yeah, I totally give it to her.
Yeah, she takes it and says, "You never deserved this."
No, I'm sorry.
PR3, PR3, you see Oda just drop her lightsaber out the back of the ship down to the surface below.
Oh.
Ulago, you see Oda essentially throwing her lightsaber away, like sobbing about having failed something, and you see down below the lightsaber falls into a like flaming wilderness, and it lands in the dirt and muck down below in the riverbed, and where you see it land is next to the bodies of like hundreds of dead troopers just littering the floor of this battlefield. And you can see now in the fires all sorts of different walkers and crashed aircraft, and you can hear screaming now. It's getting worse and worse.
Oh, mine is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we got to fall back. We're losing.
I've lost everything.
Yeah, Oda, you hear this girl. You apparently are suffering the least effects, but you hear this like crying from somewhere. Just this crying, begging for help.
Oda, right?
I'm sorry, yeah, Dio. You hear this crying from somewhere that is like no one here, but it's the voice is there. You can hear it.
I think
echoing.
PR3's paying attention.
PR3, take us down. We got evac survivors.
Nope. No. And then if PR3, I'll be looking around, but then I'll just look back at the Devoronian man, and I'll take out my gun and I'll point it.
Yeah, PR3. You currently in your periphery.
Mm-hmm.
Lago is like screaming at you to land the ship because there's people that need to be saved. Oda is sobbing uncontrollably, has just thrown her lightsaber away, and Dio is like
angry.
Like losing her mind, pointing a pistol at an already passed out man. What do you do?
All of you need to get it together. Nothing you're seeing is real. They're fantasies. You need to laugh at them.
Dio, all you hear out of PR3's mouth is the crying and sobbing of a young girl. Ulago, you hear nothing PR3 says, because around you, the swelling of voices and like sheer terror and people like screaming at you to help them, as like you hear dead friends like begging for you to come save them. And Oda,
how close are we to the ground?
You're like, and this is a great question, PR3. How high did you take off?
I took us a good like 150, 200 feet up.
Yeah, so you're 150 feet up. Oda, you are now, your master has taken your lightsaber from you and vanished, and you are now alone. Like, you're on a ship alone. There is no one there with you. There's no PR3, there's no Dio, there's no Ulago, no Devoronian. You're just alone. And there is, like, it's a ship, and outside the ship, outside the window, is a black void. There's nothing. Hold on, we can't hear you. What were you saying? We can't hear you.
It's because she's in a void, damn it.
I know.
She starts going. I mean, if she's alone in the ship, she's like, I gotta fly the ship. So she starts stumbling over to the controls.
Yeah. PR3, you see Oda get up from her sobbing and move over to the controls of the actual ship. Dio, you're pointing this blaster at this guy. What do you do?
As I keep hearing the screams, I think I just I put the blaster up and I would kneel over him and I just start punching his face. Just saying you did this, you're the reason she's crying, you're the reason I hear her. And just punching him over and over.
God bless you for doing this. Sometimes being a DM is great. You begin to punch his face. And as you punch his face, the face changes to that of a young girl you definitely recognize, and you continue to punch her, and then this face stares back at you.
I would immediately just jump backwards and stumble onto the floor.
Yeah, you stumble backwards, recoiling in terror, and you slam into Oda, who is trying to make her way to the cockpit. Oda, you, in a room filled with no one, are pushed forward into the seat and sort of stumble forward and onto the floor. And you're sort of just smacked down into the floor. PR3, ULAGO is still yelling at you to land the ship. You see Dio and Oda just smacking into each other now, sort of sprawled out on the floor. What do you do?
I bring the ship down just above the ground.
Okay.
And then I point the nose towards the sky and dump them all out.
That's about enough of that.
Give me a I guess this is a planetary piloting check.
Boy, I better hope I get this one good. Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're not holding on to anything as far as I can tell. ULAGO, if you are, you can roll for it, but Dio and Oda and the Devoronian are not. They are sprawled out.
The second he got within a survivable drop to the ground, I think ULAGO would have jumped.
Yeah. All right. So
anyway.
The ship goes. You take the ship down just enough, PR3, and ULAGO, you jump out ready to go.
And I start firing into the trees.
Yeah, just wildly firing with your weapon, and you see trees vaporize, explode into vapors.
And he's yelling Suhao. He's just yelling Suhao over and over again, and shooting into the trees.
In your vision, we see the trees as actual clone troopers, exploding, you're vaporizing clone troopers, and you see around you other clone troopers, and it's a crazy mess. You see friends, and it's wild. You can see in the distance the glow of lightsabers flashing, but it is intense. Whatever's happening in your vision right now, whatever this is, it is crazy looking.
He starts heading to the lightsaber glow.
Yeah. You run towards it. And PR3, from your perspective, you see ULAGO running towards the woods.
Oh God.
Dio, Oda, and the Devoronian, Nagat, fall out the back of the ship and slam down into the mud. What do you do, PR3?
Level the ship out and then take it back up to where I was and monitor for R3 arrival. I'm not gonna do it. What am I gonna do? Honestly, until we have our ship, perhaps there's medical stuff in it.
Yeah, the ship takes off and it lifts off into the air. PR3, as you do, you notice there's a beep, like a beep beep beep, beep on the monitor.
Okay.
Because I love you so much, am going to give this information. You can choose to share with it if you want or not spoil, whatever.
Okay. We're sharing this on Twitter.
Yes, it's on Twitter.
Okay. All right. Oh, okay.
I'll let you decide what to do with that information as you choose, but the pinging begins to happen very quickly and rapidly.
I immediately contact that ship if possible.
Yeah. You contact the ship, and we hear it pick up on the other line. And what do you say?
What is your intention here?
And we'll cut away from that, is what we will do. And immediately cut back down to Lago running into the woods, like blasting the limbs off of trees as we cuts back and forth between him just running through the woods like a madman to him in a battlefield as like explosions are happening around him and like limbs are flying.
There's like twigs and leaves whipping his face, but in his like head cannon it's like rubble.
Yeah.
But
it's you just wildly screaming, running towards where this lightsaber is. It's almost like you know, to you, you're on a war-torn battlefield where there are no trees, so it just looks insane. Like you see in the distance this lightsaber glowing as you run towards it. What do you see when you get closer to this lightsaber?
Tell me.
Yeah.
What is it when Oh, what do you want? What do I get to set the scene?
Yeah, absolutely.
It is Suhao kneeling, and an Inquisitor is standing over her, and there's a red lightsaber at her throat.
Cool.
And he freezes.
Is this a moment that is a real moment?
Yes.
Or is this a moment that Yeah.
Yes.
Do you witness what happens here, or does the whole world freeze around you as you freeze?
He witnesses what happens.
Okay. Yeah. We see it from your perspective.
Yeah.
We see your eyes, like it's a close-up of your face.
It's his face. He reaches out and yells, and then you see Suhao's hand drop the lightsaber.
Cool.
And that's all you see.
Dio, you are face first in the mud, and you sort of pop awake. And as you open your eyes and rub the mud off your face, from the sound of sort of like as we like cut back into reality, you hear the voice kind of like fade away a little bit, and it's still there. You can hear it, but you're just down the surface. You can see around you. You're on the planet. The Devoronian is in the mud. Oda's in the mud. You can see in the distance ULAGO kind of running off into the wilderness. And while the voice is there and present, it isn't like assaulting your senses as it once was.
I start putting more mud all over. I just start rubbing myself and rubbing mud.
Yeah, you like start rubbing down in this mud, and after a few short moments, it like goes away. Like it kind of just vanishes.
And as
like you no longer hear it.
As Oda's laying next to me, I start putting mud on her face.
Yeah, you begin to like Oda. You wake up and you see that Dio is covering you in mud, just like rubbing your body down in mud right now. The overalls that you're wearing from the Sullust, work area that you stole. This is Johnny Workman's clothes,
right?
Are now covered in mud, just drenched in mud.
Am I still hallucinating or no?
No. Like all of a sudden you aren't overwhelmed with the sadness of letting down your master. You don't hear the voices anymore. You no longer feel like you've betrayed everyone or that you're alone anymore.
Do I realize that I dropped my lightsaber out the ship?
Immediately. That's the first thing you check for. Maybe it was a dream. And you have no lightsaber on you.
I don't really care that Dio is smearing mud on me. I just sit up and I start looking for where the lightsaber might have fallen. She's just like smearing mud on my face, and I'm like looking while she's doing it.
Yeah. You begin to frantically search for this thing. The Devoronian kind of wakes up and he looks around at the two of you and sees you, Oda, just like digging, like looking through the mud on the ground. This once flat surface that had sort of like a grainy dust to it is now completely just this sort of orangish tinted mud that is now over all of you. You can see it if you looked under the ship. The bottom of the ship is covered in this mud. He kind of like looks at all of you, totally confused. He has no idea what's going on. He just knows he hates this planet. Just like hates it here. Give me a perception check, Oda. Do you find your lightsaber?
Please. For all that is light side, do I find my lightsaber? My perception's so bad. Yay!
Yeah. It stresses you out, but you do find it. After a few like moments of digging through the mud, you find it sort of lodged in there, and it is caked in it, but it's there. It's
I
there.
just clench it to my chest and then fall back on my back in the mud, like.
Dio, you see Oda just sort of like.
Oh no! As
collapse
she's
into the mud.
looking for it, I don't even start. I stop to help. I stuff a bunch of mud in my pockets, which is disgusting, and then I get up and start chasing after Ulago.
Yeah. You begin to run as fast as you can after Ulago. Ulago has gone deep into the woods, and you see that this Devoronian, like, he looks at you, Oda, and then he looks at Dio, and he makes the call that he doesn't think you're going to protect him, Oda, and he runs after Dio because he has no weapons and he's terrified of bugs, and so he like chases after Dio because you have the weapons. And Oda, you find yourself just laying there alone in the mud, by yourself, as you see the ship sort of hover above you. What do you do?
3, let me back in.
That was on comms, I assume.
Yeah, PR3, you just finished up your other conversation.
All right.
Are you in your right mind now?
Is this a talk just to Oda,
that's
or
to Oda.
can I
Yeah,
hear this
yeah.
too?
Wow.
It would be a direct contact to Oda and all of you. Yes.
I don't know what's going on with the Ulago, but I'm chasing after him. I think the mud helped. It's disgusting, but it helped. Now we're dirty.
Well.
After that conversation, am I really like gonna go back down, or was there something else that was discussed?
You are you don't need to go back down.
Oh, okay.
But you can if you want to, but you don't need to.
Help will be there directly.
Yeah, as he says that, a shadow appears over you, Oda. And you look up and see like it cuts as a shadow, like a giant shadow kind of like comes over your person. And we cut back to Dio and Ulago and the Devoronian running through the woods. Ulago, what state are you in? Like mentally, what is your state?
He's like quiet. He's like sat on the floor. The rifle's by his side. And he's like cradling a log.
Yeah, Dio, you see Ulago
And rocking.
holding a log, just like like the grossest crying you've ever seen ever, especially for Ulago. Just like a broken man, just like a mess. And the Devoronian looks at you and he's like, "Who the hell is this guy?"
He doesn't look so good. And I'm assuming he has no mud on him, so he's probably
I mean, he has the mud on his feet from when he jumped down into it, but like, that's it.
I don't know how we're gonna get this on his face and everything.
Can I hear
Rub
them?
it with your hands.
Am I still out of it?
You want me
You
to
can't
walk
hear a
up to
damn thing
him?
they're saying. Around you, still the battle. Yeah.
Good to know.
But when he looks at us, like, would he see something different?
I mean, he's not even looking at you. He's not
Okay.
even attempting to look at you.
I'm gonna attempt to walk up behind him very quietly and then just like smear it, like just grab him with a clumps of just mud.
Yeah, Ulago, you suddenly are pulled back. Like, not just pulled back as a person, but like pulled back into reality as your face is just like these dark mounds of something slap on your face and you just like fall backwards and you feel like people rubbing all over your body.
I just lie there looking up, trying to like take in what is real and what isn't.
Yeah, from like underneath this mound of like slapped on orangish mud, you see eyes open, and it's just from a shot from above of the Devoronian and Dio just rubbing you down with mud as you just lay there.
And I take the log and try to throw it. And I pat the log on the chest and I go, "Come on, we gotta go back. I left Oda by herself." And PR3 said, "Help is arriving." I don't know if that means R3's back. So I let him sit there in his feelings as long as he wants, but I turn around and I start walking away.
He gets up, but he doesn't say a word. Just walk.
Yeah. The group of you get up, and the Devoronian helps you to your feet, Ulago, and he like gives you a smile. It's like, "Come on, let's get out of here. This place is terrible." And as he pulls you towards Dio, who's ahead of you, he freezes. And like, he's like, "Do you hear that?"
Let's see. I know
Am
how
I-
this works.
Am I within range of him saying?
I mean, yeah. He said it under his breath, but I think you can.
I'm gonna use
in
a
range.
light side point
Sure.
Mm.
to perceive with my ears.
Well, I mean, yeah, you perceive all right.
I think the strain is apt for what I just went through.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You definitely you turn, and well, first off, you definitely hear it. You hear, and it's starting to sound like much louder. It doesn't sound like thousands, but it sounds loud. Whatever this click is, it's getting close to you very rapidly.
Okay. I would like to use my triumph
Mm-hmm.
to know exactly what direction and how far away this thing is.
You turn to your left, and from out of the tree line appears this big guy. Ooh.
No, no.
Whoo! And it breaks through the trees and roars at the group of you. And that is where we will end today.
Oh.
All right. Yes, that's it for us today. But as per usual, look at this guy. What did JP write?
I'm colorblind, so it's hard to see. There we go.
Gonna
I'm
eat
gonna
you,
eat you,
Strippin'.
Strippin'. It's what it says.
Yeah, that's what it
one
says.
says.
Nice.
Yeah, he's gonna eat you. And then he spun it, and then that monster spun it around. And he like a DJ, he spun it. All right. That is it for this episode, but in keeping with our new tradition, let's see what is going on with all y'all's thoughts on this one. Questions, concerns, comments. If you're in chat right now, drop a little question if you have one. JP will grab those and send them to me, and I'll try my hardest to ask them to everyone, and we'll try and get through them as much as we can. But for the four of you, what's up?
I'm ready to burn this place to the ground. Like, for real, for real. This
What?
place is
Literally have
awful.
You have a droid with a flamethrower. You literally
I know.
could
I'm
start.
ready to be like, go do it. Go set things on fire, please.
Would
thought that
my
was the
fire
plan.
circle have worked? Would it
Well,
have worked?
Listen, that was the plan until we all became super drugged.
Yeah, I would have had just as
We
much
get
fun
back
drugging
in
you
the
around the
ship.
fire circle. Like, yeah, it would have been Burning Man if you would have started a fire circle, but it would have been the same. You know, you still would have been high. You guys, yeah, the water was definitely. You'll notice that I said it had no narcotics and no downers, but I didn't say anything about hallucinogens.
Yeah.
Definitely filled with those.
Don't loophole me, you son of a bitch.
Would it be safe that we can deduce that it was the water that did this to us?
Absolutely, 100%. You drank the water and it made you see stuff. Absolutely.
We tested it.
Yeah, and then you tested it for everything.
We
and
tested
just
it.
had
He
little-
said it was safe to drink, but it had unknown compounds. That's totally on us for drinking it. But what else were we gonna do, dude?
Now we're hydrated.
Yeah.
At least you're
And we
fine.
know-
Yeah.
Or I guess we would have an idea that the mud, for some reason, negates it.
Yep.
So we could still drink it, but we'd have to start like rubbing mud on our face.
You'd have to go full on Predator. But yeah, you 100% can drink it. Just keep mud caked on you. You'll be fine. Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, anything else from this episode?
I wanted to add that I think Dio maybe had less of an effect because a lot of her stuff involving her sister, she takes out on the gang that has her captive, and so she was
You're
more
also-
angry at him at first.
Your character's also more emotionally withdrawn.
That's true.
Unlike the
Very
others.
emotionally withdrawn.
Emotions don't govern your actions. So
Yeah,
it didn't affect you as much.
it did
Just
piss
it
her
didn't-
off a little
didn't
bit.
swim in
You
it.
got to see a little bit of anger, a little
Well-
bit, and then yeah.
Yeah, I'm lucky that I got to roll a 20 when you started punching a guy because that's a great scene. That's a solid movie scene right there.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You're
Like punching
your-
a
you're
dude and his
punching your
face
sister,
turns to
dude.
her. Oh, that's the best kind of scene. So yeah, of course. When that happened, I'm so excited.
That's cruel.
hmm What other thoughts or comments or suggestions do you have?
Who's here? That's my thought.
Yeah.
Someone's here. Someone showed
Secrets.
up. PR3 can share exactly what message she got.
You're all on the wacky sauce. I'm not sharing nothing with you guys.
All right, there you go.
Ouch.
Would you say, Bikeman, is it a good or bad thing?
Do you really want me to reveal that?
It's your call. You can decide.
It's all up to you, dude.
Oh, my
Yeah.
old master showed up with an entire contingent of Imperial troops. It's gonna be real rough.
I don't think you're telling the truth.
He's lying.
I feel like that's a lie.
It'll raise an eyebrow.
Cool.
I'm worried.
Maybe you shouldn't be. Who knows?
I don't know that
what,
it's that bad.
what else? Anything crazy that you can think about before I start going to the questions of this fine audience of ours?
Why'd it have to be spiders? Why couldn't it be like grasshoppers that eat you?
Well, cause I couldn't find any. When I googled weird Star Wars monster, there weren't any grasshoppers that appeared.
The spiders I am absolutely terrified of in every game.
Because everyone hates spiders, which is why you got giant spiders that are also kind of like crabby a little. I don't know what's going on with them. They're
Yeah,
great.
I would
two
say
shows
that-
we're dealing with spiders on.
I'd say they're more crabs, right?
Yeah.
Because we didn't see any webs in the trees or any of that kind of stuff. Just like
They're-
a wave of killer
They're like
crabs.
ant spiders.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
Ant crabs.
All right, let's do some of these. Did the mud actually do anything? Captain Shiro, I think that's what, unless it's Captain Shiro. Did the mud actually do anything? Yeah, the mud is what negated their hallucinogens. Hallucinogens? That's not even the hallucinations. The hallucinogens.
You're just lucky there were no spider larvae in the water.
Yeah, I actually originally was thinking that would be what the white glow was, but then I had to negate that because I was like, well, that is super gross, and I don't want to go super gross. I want to be like, yeah, you were just eating a bunch of eggs the entire time. Like that would be messed up.
Ooh.
Um,
Everybody eats at least 8 spiders in their lifetime, dude. That's a
True.
fact.
They never
Most of
have
the time
any
in
adverse
jams
effects,
and
like
jellies.
erupting out of your flesh.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
they get
if you love
stuck in
jam,
there.
if you love jams and jellies, you eat lots of spiders.
I think I've probably had like maybe 10 or 20, 30 spiders at this
You
point.
know what? It's good eats. It's fine.
High in protein.
Fiber.
Yeah, it's all right. Would the Devoronian notice the lightsaber? He did not. He was busy freaking out still, so he did not notice.
Good.
Oda's pretty good at keeping it hidden.
And then
Dude,
he
imagine if he'd have just
immediately
picked
faced
it up and been like, now you are hostage.
Now I am the Jedi. The good news is that I'm going by the rules of, like, you know, most Star Wars until recently, when it was like a lightsaber, even to turn it on requires some skill. You can't just like out of nowhere be like
Try telling that to my boy Finn.
or Han Solo. Look, it's not a rule that matters. It just is a rule. Some reason everyone who's like connected to the main story can do it. But then like
Gotcha.
a random like goon is like, "What? What is this thing?" So
Yeah. He can turn on
whatever.
his fucking like Inquisitor Force staff that snaps in half and twirls 3 times, but then you hand him a lightsaber and he's like,
what? Yeah,
what?
every time. It's kind of like the blade rules when every villain gets Blade's sword and their hand
Yeah.
explodes every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's roughly that.
God, I forgot about that. The blades come out of the handle.
Yeah, and then
God, that was so
that guy's
dumb.
hand. The entire movie, that guy always loses his hand over and over again. And you're
There's
like,
no way he doesn't accidentally do that at least one time to himself.
it's like it's the blade thing. He knows how to turn it off, I guess. Tia 214, what happened to Oda's master's lightsaber? Well, I mean, it's covered in mud right now. It's caked in mud, but she has it. So
Yeah.
it's all right.
It's a muddy boy.
The one that I carry is my master's lightsaber, in case you didn't know that already.
Yep. Didn't Dio beat the Devoronian's face in while hallucinating? Wouldn't he notice that his face is sore? He's still. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you in on something. He's still kind of hallucinating. No one put mud all over him. He doesn't know what's up.
That's true, actually.
He's kind of still out there. So I'm pretty sure he's like, he thought whatever that noise was not real, which is why he was like, "Did you hear that?" So I'm pretty sure he's out of it still. Yeah, he's in a bad sort. Bask wants to know, do the spider creatures have a name in Star Wars lore? They do. But it is something I cannot remember right now. They definitely do. Maybe if I just do Star Wars spiders. Oh boy, this is going to be a wide variety of things. A lot of spider droids. That's very cute. Wow, there's a bunch of different spiders. I think the closest things these are to is something called a baneback spider. Even though that's not what they are, that's kind of what the closest thing they are. Is similar to those. But yeah, don't go Googling that if you don't like spiders, because they're terrifying. The things that are listed there, there's a gaping spider and a giant. What the hell? I'm gonna click off of that. That's terrifying. All right, yes, there are many spiders.
Cool, yeah. Baneback spider.
Yeah, baneback spiders have like stuff that comes out their back and attacks you, which is pretty neat. Allo Obert says the group steals a Corvette in the repair facility and the original ship is left untouched for more than a week. What kind of security do they have? It's been 4 days, and I said that R3 has been literally trying to keep people off the ship for 4 days. He's freaking out. So
We have a
it's been
security
rough.
system called Gizmo.
He's trying.
I mean, a sensible protocol is to isolate the ship and wait for the owners to return, right? So they can be apprehended. They wouldn't just like,
yeah, it's a ship. It's like
break the length of the ship.
Especially if it's, I mean, like, I'm not saying that Gizmo has to deal with the fact that they've clamped the ship to the ground. I'm not saying that's what's going on. And it might take him a little while to get there. But if that's what happened, if like the movie Solo, where they clamped the ship to the ground, if that's what were to happen, then that's, you know, who knows? What is the next question on here? Is Oda doing okay?
Is that
No? Are you
That's literally
kidding?
a question.
How are any of these people doing okay? No.
Oh, it's so funny. What is the hottest? Damn it! Why are you asking about podcasts that are not going to happen? JP, stop doing this. Stop this, you monster.
Is he trying to make that stupid name for your podcast land?
Yes.
Still? He's
Yes.
like Gretchen trying to make fetch happen. It's fucking awful.
So fetch. I hate it. I hate that he almost gets me every time.
Not gonna happen.
Where were the glyphs, images, writings, or what have you on the box in Sith? If so, why couldn't PR3 not know? You know what I mean. I will simply say for the fact that it's so dumb. It's 100% not like one of those. It's definitely Sith. That's why PR3 can't know it, because his protocol droid memory is. It's not Sith. It's not Sith language. Don't worry about it. It's not like ancient Sith. It's not like one of those weird, like, we have to hack PR3 to read the language. It is not that. It is straight up a language that you just do not know. PR3 doesn't know it. You don't know it. It exists in the lore of Star Wars. It is definitely a real Star Wars thing. It exists in lore of Star Wars, and when you find out, you'll be like, oh shit, but it like has nothing to do with the Sith.
It's like just been purposed by the Sith for their nefarious means.
Yeah. Whatever it is, it's no good. All right. What was that nice question? What would have happened with the other two landing spots? Oh, sure. Well, one they figured out real quickly. One was straight up they would have found the mound, like the place where all of the creatures live. And that would have been sort of like we're going underground. And Anna nailed it when she was like, I think this whole place might be underground passages and shit. Absolutely. And then the clearing would have literally just been like, you landed at a clearing and you would have had to deal with like going through the woods, but you would have found actual like plant life and signs of, or not plant life, but like animal life and signs of like actual animals there.
Animals that are not giant ant crabs?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh.
And so that would have been the benefit. But the downside is you were surrounded by forest. So when the crabs came, it would have been like surrounded by them rather than them just like coming through the area. So who knows what that would have ended up looking like. For Jesse, will we see the ET home planet in this campaign? No, unfortunately. No, we will not. But they're out there somewhere. Jesse, how many changes, upgrades will you allow PR3 to have? As many as he can fit on his person. A droid has a certain number of slots, just like a weapon. Weapons have HP or hard points, and those hard points limit what you can put on it. So, for example, Bikeman can only get so hard.
He's not wrong.
Did I ever plan on Oda losing her lightsaber? No, I just want to see what Anna would do. I was like, your master demands your lightsaber. I was like, what are you gonna do? And she gave it willingly. I was like, all right. It falls out of the ship. Yeah.
Like that's where you get challenged as a role player, where it's like there's absolutely no reason that if Oda believes this is her master and her master says, give me that lightsaber, that Oda would not give it to her. So like as a player, I'm like, no. But as a role player, I have to be like, yeah, here you go.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't like in any way a threatening situation. I never, as like a person running this thing, I'd never be like, yeah, there's a giant void into nothingness and your master's standing there demanding your lightsaber. Like, it was very obvious that you could find it if you looked, right?
I think
it wasn't going to be like...
I thought I might be losing my lightsaber.
Well, to me, I would never put you in a situation where it's like, and now it's gone. Unless you lose it to an Inquisitor, in which case, that's on you.
Okay.
The Inquisitor has it now, and that's tough. Last question. Not a question. Oh, all right. Well, that's... Wait a minute. Not a question. Just a shout out to you and the cast. Look forward to the show every week. Hey,
Aww.
Crafty Cable. Thank you so much.
Shucks.
Well, that's it. But before we get out of here, let's see what everyone's doing this week. Sam, what are you up to this week?
Tomorrow I'm starting The Last of Us 2.
Oh.
And that's what I shall be doing. And I finished The Last of Us 1 yesterday. It took me 2 days. It was great. It was the first time I ever played it, so it's fresh in the mind. I'm playing The Last of Us 2 as of tomorrow from 2 p.m. Eastern. And then once that's finished, I'm diving into the Witcher 3 DLCs. So that's me for the rest of the week.
All right. Anna, what are you up to?
Streaming much this week because I'm the host of D&D Live, which is an online convention for Dungeons and Dragons. We did our first day today. Lots of huge announcements today. This is kind of the big day for learning new stuff about Dungeons and Dragons. But tomorrow there's lots of like celebrity games as well as a few interviews and panels and things. So I'll be at the beginning and the end of each day and then a couple things in the middle. So if you want to tune in, it's on twitch.tv/D&D, and I'll host it on my channel as well, which is /AnnaProsser.
Nice.
And then I will be hopefully back at it next week after I rest for a long time.
For 1,000 years.
Yes.
For 1,000 years. And then you'll wake up like Rita Repulsa out of a crater on the moon. You're like, yeah, they'll be back. Yeah, it'll be great. Bike, what are you doing this week?
Oh, you know, going with the crowd. Got The Last of Us. Probably start it tonight. And
my
just
man.
ride that for a while. Yeah.
I'm excited to see what everyone thinks of Last of Us 2. It looks beautiful. It looks beautiful.
Have you played it?
No, I'm gonna watch everyone else play it. I loved the Last of Us story. I couldn't, like, the controls infuriated me. I couldn't do it. It made me so mad. So I'm gonna sit this one out, I think, and just watch people play it and like experience it through everyone else and have a great time. I'm excited to see what happens. But I'm also like, it looks nice, and I can't wait to see these characters again. But I'm also like, I ain't gonna play that. So
JP said it's pretty.
yeah, JP was talking to me about it before everyone got here. We had a little conversation about it. So I don't know. Pocket, what are you up to? Still moving?
I am up to so much this week.
Get
Oh
your
my
air
gosh.
conditioner fixed?
Okay, I got my air conditioner fixed. It broke.
Wait, there's
today.
more than last time.
Yes, I got my air conditioner fixed. It broke today. It was over 80 degrees in my house. It was awful. So they finally came out and fixed it, and it cost a lot, but whatever. And then I'm playing Terraria tomorrow because I don't follow the hype. And I've never played it. I never played it much. And then Sunday I'm flying to Orlando. Monday I'm getting a new tattoo, and then doing some photo shoots and stuff around Orlando. But I'm putting my house on the market next week. I'm so excited.
What
I'm
new
almost
tattoo?
Done. Do what now?
What new tattoo?
I have Zelda right here, and I'm getting Link on the other side.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm
And-
excited.
Is there gonna be like are they gonna connect?
Yeah, they're gonna connect, so it's gonna go all the way around.
Ooh, that's sick.
Neat.
I have to show something because I had a pretty bad day, but one thing happened that was really exciting.
You got to be on this show with us, and it was
Oh,
Oh.
my god.
Oh my
What
gosh,
now?
so cute. I'm dead.
So he
wait.
finally,
Time out. Is it entirely furry except its face?
yes,
Oh, it.
Wow.
Oh, look at that thing.
It's got little
Oh.
feet. Oh my god.
it's so cute.
How did you find that? Where is that from?
It was from a person on Etsy, makes these little creatures.
Of course it was Etsy.
Yes, their shop is called like Gawkaman Creations or something. I have it linked on my Twitter under the post where I showed that. But when the show came out and they introduced him, she started making one immediately. She hand makes every single one, and she's done like, I would say, thousands by now.
Jeez.
And
one.
so yeah, and so each one is a little unique because she'll do like different expressions and stuff in the lips. It's pretty cool. But
I need it.
I ordered it because I can never make something on par with that for a Mandalorian cosplay, which I can't work on because I need to move. So
This is amazing. And I know that you probably said something then, but all I could think about was, I want to see the baby. So can I please see that baby again? Yes, I love that, baby.
It's actually got a full body underneath too, so it's just a furry looking gremlin. Honestly, I don't know what, but its feet are really.
This. The minute it went off the screen, all I could think about was how I could get that baby back on the screen. I
when
don't,
you held it up the first time and I screamed, it was completely involuntary. It was just like a gut reaction. Ah!
It's pretty cool. I'm gonna make a stroller whenever I finally get the Mandalorian cosplay done, and I'm gonna walk around conventions with this in the stroller.
Oh my god, I love that. Those eyes are like, you look inside and you see your soul. It's like it sees directly into you.
I'm looking at all the pictures on Etsy already, and my wallet is getting lighter.
All right, well. Even though last week Pocket was falling apart, this week came back strong. Very impressed.
So much done. I'm still stressed out, but it's so much done.
Well,
and I have a baby.
I know. I saw. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. All right, let's wrap this thing up. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for watching. All the different VODs and whatnot will be up soon. We will see you all next week with another episode. Be good. And, something about keep your friends close and your droids closer. We'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Where's the payoff?
Bring the strippers and booze.
We do occasionally talk about video games.
Bring the strippers and booze. Out of time for video games. Bring the strippers and booze.
Oh, thank God, I don't need pants now.
Hey, JC, what are you doing? Not much. Making a fortune.
It's a promotional broadcast.
Yeah, now sing music.
It's a promotional broadcast.
Bring the strippers and booze.
It's a promotional broadcast.
I'm here to ask and answer one simple question.
It's a promotional broadcast.